Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I am finally back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. I know it's been a long time, and some of you guys probably have been wondering where the heck I've been, so if you want a update on everything, I posted a long update video yesterday, so definitely go check that out. I highly recommend it because I talk about my plans for the future of my VGC career and my channel as well. But long story short, I'll be focusing on commentary and making content more this upcoming season as opposed to competing. So yeah, go check out the video for all the details, and thank you to everyone who did watch it and left positive comments and support. Literally every comment on that video was just so nice, and it just made me so happy to be part of such an incredible community and have like the just incredible fans and supporters and viewers. So thank you guys. But yeah, I'm just gonna be jumping back to Road to Ranked, and one thing that does make things a little bit easier for me this year is that college I do have a single room instead of having a roommate, which I had the last 2 years, so I think making content will be a lot easier for me since I can pretty much do it whenever. And so if you guys, one thing I really want to focus on this next season is just upping my YouTube channel. Like the last couple of years I've been doing this, I've competed and tried to make worlds and just play at a really high level, and it's not like that I don't plan on doing that this upcoming season, but now I can focus more on just making more content. So obviously Road to Ranked, it's the one series that everyone watches a lot, but there's a lot more stuff that I have planned, and this year I finally really want to get on board with it and start doing content that could maybe help grow the VGC scene even more. So if you have any suggestions and comments for what you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. I've already got a bunch of ideas of my own, and I should be able to start rolling that out relatively soon. Without further ado, let's just jump into today's episode. So I think for the next couple of weeks on Road to Ranked, I want to use basically some of my favorite teams from the World Championships this year. There was a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool stuff that was used by a lot of top players, and so today's team is actually by Sam Pendelis, who finished second at Worlds. He was kind enough to give me the information of his team, and we're just going to jump right into it with a 1681 opponent from Japan. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Ranked, please share your support by leaving a like on this video, especially since it's been a while. I really want to gauge how many people are still, interested in this series specifically and in VGC 17 at this point. And obviously, I want to do it on a daily basis. So please come out, show your support, leave a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. For our first game today, we're going to be going up against a Japanese opponent. Like I mentioned, I'm using Sam's team. Go give him a follow at Twitter in the description below. An incredible player, got second at Worlds this year, and it's a really fun team with a lot of tricks up its sleeve. My opponent actually has a team that's kind of similar to what Sam saw in the finals of Worlds, actually, with the Tapu Fini, the Tapu Koko, and the Whimsicott. Surrounding it are the Arcanine, the Garchomp, and the Kartana. So this is tricky. It actually reminds me a lot of Sam's finals matchup. So Whimsicott's really interesting because it typically uses Nature Power, but with Tapu Lele, Nature Power is priority. So if you have Tapu Lele, then it actually cancels out the move, which could be really helpful. So I actually kind of like bringing maybe some similar Pokemon to what Sam had in the finals, like leading Ninetales Garchomp. This Ninetales is a really fun set as well, with Mandibuzz and Tapu Lele in the back. I really like that, I think. The only issue is that Tapu Fini, I don't hit that very hard. So maybe I bring Xurkitree instead. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. That's probably not the best call, but let's see how this goes. I do like Sam's Xurkitree a lot as well. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to use this team, because like Xurkitree is a Pokemon that we've seen somewhat throughout the season. Like I used it in the beginning of the year, but I don't think the way I used it was optimal at all. And then this like Tail Glow bulky berry set came to prominence. A bunch of players, I know I think Jamie Boyd and Barry Anderson were both using it, as we see Tapu Fini and Arcanine for my opponent, which is fine by me. Especially because there's no Whimsicott, which I probably prefer. So what this means is, turn 1, I can set up an Aurora Veil. I can also Swords Dance. Maybe I want to switch out Garchomp, though. That one's tricky. One thing is, okay, so Fini's slower than Arcanine, so I don't have to worry about a Scarfini, but it could be Choice Specs, obviously, which is a concern. Yeah, so this Ninetales is super, defensively oriented. So what I could do is Aurora Veil, and then I have to make an important decision. I can either Swords Dance or just Tectonic Rage into Arcanine. Arcanine could easily protect here. So if I Swords Dance, that would put me in a tremendous position going into turn 2. I also could just Protect. And I might actually like the Protect idea here, just because I don't want to risk Tapu Fini being Choice Specs. Arcanine actually switches out. Okay, that could be Whimsicott coming in. Yeah. So that's kind of annoying, but at least I don't just like waste the Tectonic Rage until that slot. What this also means is next turn I can switch out into Tapu Lele to block a potential Encore. I can also go for a Encore, or sorry, a Disable onto the... we see Moonblast come out. Wow, great predict. Moonblast into the Arcanine. Yeah, but you see that with the Aurora Veil, like, this team is super bulky. What it takes advantage of is getting speed control through Ninetales, and I think it's, like, one of the best use of Ninetales I've seen this season, because you typically expect, like, the Focus Sash variant, but this is Light Clay, and it just makes it so much more potent. Oops, my game disconnecting there briefly. So what I want to do here, I could disable into Lafini. I could disable Whimsicott. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to disable Whimsicott. I could Tailwind here, I guess. Could Icy Wind? Actually, I'll disable Tapu Fini. And switch out into Tapu Lele. Yeah, so then that makes Fini, like, really useless, and then Whimsicott, even if it Tailwinds, it can't use Nature Power afterwards. I guess I could switch into Tapu Koko, but I think this covers most of my options. I want to get rid of that Intimidate, and I do want the Garchomp for the Arcanine in the back still. Because Garchomp against Fini and Whimsicott not exactly the best. So Whimsicott actually protects, which is even better for me. So now you can't Encore me, and I disable the Moonblast. Nice. So no Tailwind coming up immediately yet, but there's the disable. And there we go. Yeah, Moonblast is disabled this turn. So that turn works out perfectly. Whimsicott also reveals that it has Protect, which is important information always. So, you know, neither of us have speed control right now, but I'm still really bulky. Tapu Fini is slowly getting chipped away, and now I can Icy Wind here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to Icy Wind, and Whimsicott might Tailwind, but I'm fine with that. I could either Calm Mind here, or just knock out Whimsicott. I think I'd prefer to just go for the knockout right now. Yeah, the one reason I really want to knock out Whimsicott is just because of the threat it poses to my Garchomp. So I will just Psyshock and Icy Wind here. It also decreases Fini's speed, means maybe even if Tailwind goes up, I can outspeed after getting another Icy Wind off. So, this Ninetales, like I mentioned, is Light Clay, which isn't like the Focus Sash variant. This Tapu Lele is also like it's very bulky. It's like almost max HP and defense with Calm Mind. And so you try to get a Calm Mind or two up while Aurora Veil is up. So, Fini protects even better. I'm not attacking to that slot, and it means it burns a Protect. And there's the Tailwind. Yep. So, I could have Calm Minded, but the one reason I didn't was because if my opponent has Tapu Koko in the back, then I'm kind of screwed. Like, my opponent can Encore me if he or she switches out into Tapu Koko. And I don't want to risk that right now, so I think I'm just going to go for the knockout onto Whimsicott. Icy Wind plus Psyshock should be a clear knockout, and then we'll go from there. You know, Fini is kind of useless right now because it can't Moonblast. You can Muddy Water, sure, but that's not a major concern to me because I'm pretty bulky and I have Aurora Veil up. So you can see how the bulk is really paying dividends right now. Tapu Lele, Ninetales, these are all Pokemon that you can often see like with no bulk at all, and Sam decided to go with full bulk, you know, investing in a team. And there's Arcanine coming back in. Yep, not too much of a surprise there. And I'm also okay with that. Because of the berry, I should be able to take a Flare Blitz and a Muddy Water. Okay, let's see. So I don't have Protect. My safest play here is probably to... Could be Z-move Arcanine. Could maybe survive that even. Got Chomp in the back. Xurkitree deals with Fini really well. I have Roar. I'll probably just Icy Wind here again. Because that would mean Garchomp outspeeds Fini, yeah. And I could easily protect Tapu Lele here. But I think I actually want to attack. Yeah, I want to attack. I'm gonna Psyshock Fini. With the Aurora Veil up, like, and given how bulky... Okay, so that switches out into Garchomp. Okay, that's pretty good one way or another. Because that means it's either taking an Icy Wind or a Psychic. What? Arcanine protected? Wow, that play... I don't think I agree with that play. Just because you already have Tailwind up, so... Like, what's the Arcanine protecting for? You know, you might be scouting out for something, but I don't know. I feel like you really need to capitalize this turn and attack something. Maybe my opponent was just expecting double protect, hoping to switch into Garchomp freely, but that just seems like way too risky of a play. And Icy Wind and Psyshock doesn't get the knockout, but the Hail will finish it up. So, yeah, I was already feeling pretty good about this game, but, like, that was just, like, phenomenal. I feel like my opponent has been protecting... Pretty much every protect my opponent has done. You know, the one with the Whimsicott, the one with the Fini, and now the one with Arcanine. Like... I understand playing safe, but those seem like positions where it's like there's really not much you should fear. I think the one thing my opponent might have been predicting, which I could maybe justify, is if my opponent expected my Tapu Lele to protect, and for me to disable the Arcanine's Flare Blitz, which I did consider doing, but I was like, okay, I have Aurora Veil up, Icy Wind plus Psyshock is a pretty safe play, Feeny here protected, and so it's either going to stay in Muddy Water or just switch out, and so that works out so nicely for me, and I've still got 4 turns of Aurora Veil, which is so nice as well. So Garchomp and Xurkitree should be able to clean out this game at this point. I'm going to disable the... I'm not really worried about Arcanine. Let me just check on my turns of Tailwind. My opponent has 2, I believe. Yes. So that's pretty good for me. I can sack Ninetales here. I'll just Icy Wind. I don't see the need of really disabling. Right now I just need to play safe, and Garchomp Xurkitree should close it out for me. So, yeah, Lele's going to protect. I maybe could have attacked here with Lele, but I do want to scout out for a Z move here. We do just see Flare Blitz come out. This time it does go into the Ninetales, so... Best play from my opponent's end there. But like I said, I'm not really too worried because right now what I'm playing for is sacking the Ninetales, getting the free switch into the Garchomp, protecting Garchomp, attacking with Lele next turn, Xurkitree comes in, and then that's endgame. So, yeah, my opponent gave up way too much momentum and didn't really get anything out of that Tailwind at all, which is, you know, that's the tricky thing with playing with Tailwind. If you're using a team that's kind of bulky like my opponent's, you need to make the most out of your turns. So, it's likely that Lele gets doubled up into here. But I'm still going to protect safely here with Garchomp just because I should... Oh, I just protected with both. That was an accident. I don't think it matters, but that was definitely a blunder. And I do get it. I actually would prefer for that Lele to go down. As Flare Blitz goes into the Lele slot. Yep, and probably Moonblast into Garchomp or Lele. Yeah, okay. So, I meant to just Psyshock there. So that was kind of a misplay. Oops. But that's okay. Yep, I'm just going to Tech Rage the Arcanine now. And... Feeny will Moonblast me, but Aurora Veil is still up, so what that means is I'll just switch out into Xurkitree. Yeah, that was a complete accidental double protect. I think it actually would have been better for me if I didn't get it, just because then Xurkitree gets a free switch in, so I can just Tech Rage. Arcanine's probably going to protect here, but Moonblast won't knock me out, and then I can just switch back into Tapu Lele. But no protect even comes out from Arcanine, so that's going to be game. So, slight blunder there in the end. I thought I was protecting with Garchomp. Forgot I already protected with Garchomp, but this game ends up working out pretty nicely for me. You know, end up getting the win, and more importantly, I think it was just like the lead was pretty solid. The bulk obviously was helpful as well. My opponent was just maybe predicting, or like predicting specific plays that didn't cover for all the options. And so, like, all those protects just gave me so much momentum because my opponent could have been attacking all those positions, but ended up not doing so. But still, credits to my opponent, cool team, and it easily could have gone, you know, the other way as always. So now with Garchomp, Xurkitree, and Lele in the back, not much to really say. Just gonna Rock Slide and Thunderbolt, and that'll be game. So yeah, analyzing this game, my opponent ends up forfeiting. Ninetales, you know, providing me with that early Aurora Veil made me feel really comfortable at really any point in the game, just because I was able to get a turn 1, and then Ninetales not going down was nice, and then, like, I would say the biggest turn was just the Garchomp switching into the Icy Wind and the Psyshock. Like, the switch in there makes sense, but I think my opponent couldn't, like, you can't really risk Ninetales just getting a free attack off there. So I think if I'm my opponent there, I Flare Blitz into the Ninetales slot. But, you know, one of the other tricky things is that this is best of 1, and this Ninetales doesn't even have Protect, but if you're my opponent, you might have been scared, okay, what if the Ninetales just protects and Psychic goes into Arcanine? So, that was another play my opponent could have been predicting. So, you know, I think it's easy to criticize when you're on the other side, but I think my opponent, each play does have some justification to it. Either way, though, I'm pretty content as we do get a win for the first game. This next game is going to be really interesting with 3 rock types, and now you go the Lycanroc and the Gigalith. Surrounding it are the Marowak, which of course did win the World Championships, Tapu Bulu, and the Braviary. So, fascinating team comp. And a tricky one at that. I really don't know how I'm going to approach this one. Because, like, I want to go Arcanine Garchomp, specifically to intimidate the rock types, but Braviary might come out immediately, which would be bad for me. I also could go, like, Garchomp Tapu Lele. Garchomp Lele might be the play, because then I can switch out into Arcanine for the Intimidate. This one's really tricky. The rock types, there's just so much. Yeah, I don't think Xerxes is the call at all. Ninetales might be worth bringing just for a hail. Yeah, Mandibus is just so weak to all the rock types. I don't like that. Although Foul Play would be nice. So I'm gonna go Garchomp Tapu Lele. Like, I can't lead Ninetales because if my opponent leads Gigalith, then I'm just screwed. And if my opponent doesn't lead Gigalith, then Lycanroc will not speed me. And now I have the Intimidate pressure from Arcanine in the back, so that could help out as well. Alright, so game 2, let's see how this goes. Last game was really scary. I think Whimsicott teams are terrifying in this format. There's a reason why Whimsicott team did win the World Championships, but we see now Ego and Braviary, okay? So I'm very glad I didn't bring Arcanine here, but this is still kind of tricky because I have no idea what set that now Ego is. Yeah, that's annoying. Especially because Braviary could easily just Tailwind here as well. Ideally, like, I want to Tech Rage now Ego. I could also Rock Slide. Both of these Pokemon are bulky. I don't know if they're bulky enough if it's Life Orb. I could also double into now Ego. Maybe I want to do that. That just seems so risky. I really wish I led Ninetales now, but like, I really couldn't afford to do that. I also need to preserve Garchomp, I think. Okay, I'm gonna Protect. And Psyshock. Now Ego turn 1. Although the Protect on Garchomp's... now Ego protected. I should have Tech Raged. That's why I wanted to Tech Rage, because that like KOs even through Protect. Although that could be like bulky now Ego for all I know. So now we probably see Tailwind go up. And I was faster too. I could have Rock Slide Psyshocked. Oh, it's Z move. It's probably going to Tapu Lele. But I am max HP defense, so if this does go into Lele, then I could survive. But obviously a frustrating turn 1 because I could have Tech Raged. And I think I should have. But this is really tricky. I think this matchup... Oh, it goes into Garchomp. Okay, nice. Okay, so that ends up working out okay. Still does a lot. But, you know, now where do I go? You know I protected with Garchomp last turn. So you could just Sludge Bomb that slot. It's not like I can really switch into either of these in the back. It could be slow now Ego too. Like, this could be Trick Room now Ego. That'd actually make a lot of sense. So I think I'm actually going to just Tech Rage and Psyshock that slot. And if it is Trick Room now Ego, then I'll obliterate it with the Tech Rage. Okay, that's a good turn. So, Braviary not attacking means Tailwind won't go up, and I think I am faster. Okay, cool. So, one of the reasons why I thought it might have been Trick Room now Ego, I should have addressed that earlier, but my opponent has a lot of slow Pokemon in his team, like Gigalith, Tapu Bulu, and Marowak, and so... You know, normally those are Pokemon that you normally see next to like Porygon 2 or maybe Mimikyu, but now Ego is a Pokemon that can Trick Room as well. So I am faster with Garchomp, which confirms this is at least a slower, bulkier variant of now Ego, and it's not timid and max speed. So let's see if it has a Focus Sash, because I think it might not. Oh, it does. Okay. Now is Tapu Lele faster? It is. Okay. I think now Ego might have been Trick Rooming there. But I'm kind of surprised my opponent didn't Trick Room turn 1. That would have made the most sense. I didn't even consider that option until past turn 1, so that was like a blunder on my end. I really should have considered the Trick Room, that it was a slower variant. I didn't realize that until past turn 1. Oh well, that's fine. Tapu Bulu comes in, and the best part is that the Braviary, we've confirmed, is slower than my Tapu Lele and is ready to burn the Z move. So, bunch of good things right now. Still don't really want to switch out into Arcanine, so I think here I'm just going to honestly just Rock Slide and Moonblast. Yeah, I think Tapu Bulu might be scared of a Poison Jab here, so I expect it to protect. It ends up not protecting, but that's fine. Rock Slide does a ton. I don't think I pick up the knockout here. And I actually don't remember Braviary's defense off the top of my head. Maybe Psyshock would have been slightly stronger. Don't think so, though. Yeah, and I don't pick up the knockout, unfortunately, and Tailwind goes up. So that's kind of a bummer. If I knock out that Braviary, then the game's just definitely over. Ooh, this is Bulk Up Bulu, too. This just got interesting. That is very scary. Okay. So Bulk Up Bulu. Now, Bulu still can't really do much to Arcanine, so, you know, I've got that going for me in the back. Quite frankly, I think I'll just double protect this turn. Yeah. Just waste the turn of Tailwind. The way I win this game now is to stall out Tailwind, because my opponent's team is so slow and Trick Room can't go up anymore, and Braviary surely won't be able to get another Tailwind up because it's so slow. Like, I think my opponent easily could have had me right in game, like turn 1 or turn 2 by going for, turn 1 especially, by going for either a Tailwind on Braviary immediately or a Trick Room with Now Ego, but instead my opponent didn't go for either means of speed control, which was a huge relief on my end, and I should have played around that, but once I got the information that Braviary was slower, I figured, okay, and, you know, I remember that Now Ego could be Trick Room, I was able to piece things together. But, double protecting here, there's Brave Bird going into Lele, and here is a Horn Leech going into Lele as well. Okay. So, I'm okay with this. I think the Arcanine in the back has E-Speed. Does it? I actually need to check on that. It doesn't. Huh. That's actually kind of problematic. Would make my life a little bit easier, but no worries. So what I want to do is switch out into Arcanine. I just don't want the Garchomp to be taking a Brave Bird, because it really could. I think I really need to check out Braviary here, so I'm just going to Rock Slide and Psyshock. Yeah. I might lose one of my 2 Pokemon, but there's no way I lose both Pokemon this turn. Actually, Brave Bird might just knock out Braviary from the recoil. I totally forgot about that. It should faint. Yeah, definitely if it's targeting Garchomp here. Yep. So, good thing I didn't switch into Arcanine there, because then Arcanine would have been gone, and I actually really need Arcanine for this, Oh, the double of the Garchomp, even better. Nice. So Garchomp did its roll already, got the knockout, and the Rock Slide damage as well, so this is perfect. Like, I get the knockout, I get a free switch in even into Arcanine, and I can go from there. And now I get to stall out Tailwind in this next turn as well. Now, Garchomp is, like, the biggest offensive member of this team, but still, like, I'm pretty content with how this turn plays out. Oh, I should have Moonblasted instead of Psyshocking just because Bulu's defense has increased. So, I've made a couple of misplays today, but I'm just getting back into the swing of things now. But, it's always good to learn. There's Marowak, okay. That is actually a concern. Yeah, that could be bad. The reason why that could be bad is because I lost Garchomp, so I need Tapu Lele to deal with it. But I do get an Intimidate off here, which is already pretty good. Definitely switching to Ninetales here in the Lele slot. Or do I just attack? I could just Flare Blitz. But if I get doubled up into Arcanine, then I'm kind of screwed. I think. Can I afford to attack here? Maybe. Like, I'm not sure a double up knocks out my Arcanine here. I don't think it does, to be honest. So maybe I just Flare Blitz here. No, I'll play it safe. I'm just going to protect and switch out into Ninetales. Because what that means is I get Psychic Terrain back up. And with the Intimidate, Lele, and Arcanine should be able to survive attacks a little bit easier. I really wanted to just Flare Blitz there, to be honest, with Arcanine, but I can't risk, like, getting doubled up into. Maybe I could risk getting doubled up into. That was a tough call. Let's see. Oh, wow. Did my opponent actually go for it? Yeah. Okay, now that actually, the Shadow Bone also came out instead of the Boomerang, which, like, most Marowak seems like they're not running anymore, so maybe that Marowak doesn't even have it, which would be really good news for me. Because what I can do now, the question is, do I want to, if my opponent Flare Blitzes the Ninetales, then it's going to take so much recoil damage where Psyshock probably just knocks it out. Yeah. So I'm just going to Flare Blitz here and set up the Aurora Veil, which means that the Tapu Lele will definitely be able to survive a couple more turns. Or like Marowak won't one-shot unless it crits. If Bulu protects, that's fine. If it doesn't protect, that's also fine. Protecting is actually better, just because I know I can't protect next turn. So I will get the Aurora Veil up. I could have disabled Shadow Bone, but I think Flare Blitz is coming out into Ninetales, so I can't really do anything about it, and I can't really, like, switching out really doesn't help either. And Flare Blitz means that this will take a ton of... Oh, it actually just goes for a Shadow Bone. Okay, I'll gladly take that. Yeah, with the Intimidate the Aurora Veil, that does so little. So you can see how important this Light Clay Aurora Veil is up for this team. You know, I brought it both games, and both times, like, it's been instrumental in setting up so many positions where you just survive so many things you normally wouldn't. And I think the Light Clay is just such a cool call. You know, it's not something that was, like, completely unheard of or unseen, but, I don't know, still... I feel like Sam's team just utilizes it so well, and I know he built it with a bunch of other players, so full credit to them for just coming up with a team that plays around this Ninetales so well, because a lot of players would use Snorlax with the Aurora Veil, because Snorlax is so tanky already, but here we have like more traditional Pokemon like Garchomp, Arcanine, Tapu Lele, and Xurkitree a little bit less traditional, but they use it so darn well. Okay, so I could disable now, but Bulu just protected, so I'm just going to Flare Blitz and Icy Wind. Yeah. Like, this Marowak clearly doesn't have Boomerang. Or Boomerang. I think it's Boomerang, but I could be wrong on that one. And, like, Tapu Lele beats the Marowak after it goes for a Flare Blitz, because it'll take all the recoil. If it doesn't Flare Blitz, like, I can take an attack from Marowak at this point anyway, since I am max HP defense and I have the Aurora Veil up. I think Flare Blitz from this Arcanine should just knock out the Tapu Bulu, so let's see. Yes. Nice. So that picks up the knockout, that goes down, Marowak goes for probably a Shadow Bone or a Flare Blitz, but then it's game next turn. That actually has Brick Break. The reason I laugh at that is because the Marowak that Sam played in the finals, played by Japanese player Ryoto, who won Worlds, actually had Brick Break, and that was actually such a, like, that I think was the best Worlds finals I've ever seen, because both players were playing so well and they had such cool teams, but also, like, Ryoto had Brick Break on Marowak, and, like, Sam's had Arcanine, and that was, like, such a relevant factor in the finals matchup, so I just found that kind of funny. But yeah, I'll just Bulldoze here and disable. I don't know, there's not much my opponent can really do at this point, but disabling Brick Break means I can just Aurora Veil again for the Tapu Lele in the back. But, you know, this is kind of scary. It's like if I guess if I had offensive Lele, it would knock out Marowak. If I had defensive Lele, I would survive. And I've got Bulldoze, which actually does decent damage against it too, so yeah, not much my opponent can do at this point. It does finally go for the Flare Blitz, so no Boomerang, which makes sense, but you see how that can kind of hurt against Arcanine specifically. Which makes my life easier, because, like, after I found out, or after it revealed that I didn't have it, or after, you know, I didn't see it, I figured, okay, that means that Arcanine can beat this Marowak 1v1, because I've got the Berry, I've got the Aurora Veil, I've got the Intimidate going on, and I've got Bulldoze, which means, you know, even if Lele goes down, I'll be single target, super effective attack against the Marowak. So, Lele, however, does finally come in now, and I can just clean things up with a Psyshock. So yeah, I didn't feature, like, the full setup aspect of this team, because this team has a lot of cool setup, like the Calm Mind, and the Tail Glow, and the Swords Dance. Like, this team has 3 setup mons, which I think is so cool. Just because normally, like, in Worlds, you'll see, like, the best performing teams maybe have 1 setup mon, sometimes 2, but 3, I don't think... Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if we've ever seen 3 setup mons in a Worlds Finals, or, like, yeah, in Worlds Finals before. And each one of them are just so good, like, super bulky, able to really just sweep through. So, yeah, Marowak protecting, just probably stalling out Aurora Veil or Hail, but it still really can't do much against Lele under Psychic Terrain. So, yeah, 2 really fun games to kick off our time with this team. It's definitely a team that I have a lot to learn with, and I have a lot of, you know, there are a lot of cool things about this team that I have yet to feature, obviously, and Flare Blitz actually does a decent amount there, too. Never underestimate Arcanine's strength. But, yeah, like today I didn't feature the Xurkitree really very much at all, and I think that's one of the coolest Pokemon on the team. I didn't really use Mandibuzz too much, like Mandibuzz. Yeah, it's also something that I think is really cool. It's like similar to my Drifloon, but, or just Drifloon in general, but it's also different because it's so much tankier, which allows you to use it in so many games, even if you don't bring the Tapu Lele, which makes things really fun. But yep, that's going to be it for the first episode of Road to Ranked with Sam's team. Of course, thank you to him for allowing me to use it. Go check out his stuff in the description below in terms of his Twitter. Give him a follow. And we are finally back with Road to Ranked, so it's really nice to be back. If you guys enjoyed this episode and want to see more, please share support by leaving a like in the video, and go check out the update video that I mentioned as well. As always, thank you guys for watching. It's really nice to be back, and I really missed you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, peace.